worldwide coronavirus issue, how it's impacting the world of wrestling. I'm Kevin Callum, coming to you from the NBC Tower in downtown Chicago. I'll have the latest for you right now from WrestleZone.com. So as you know, the coronavirus is affecting all walks of life, all forms of entertainment. And we're covering the situation as it develops with the most accurate information we can gather. Now, obviously, the big one that everyone wants to know about is what's going to happen with WrestleMania. WrestleMania is scheduled to go down April 5th at the Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida, where they are dealing in that area with the COVID-19 virus, obviously all around the world. Now, every major sports league in the United States, including the XFL, ran by WWE Chairman Vince McMahon, has suspended or canceled their seasons altogether. I understand that XFL was the last of the major sports leagues to do this, but WWE has made no alterations, as we know, just yet to WrestleMania, though they have put out a statement on the issue, and I'll read it for you right now, saying, I want to be here. While we remain committed to hosting WrestleMania at Raymond James Stadium on Sunday, April 5th, we are putting together a contingency plan in place in the event that it is canceled by government officials, civil authorities, and or local venues. This is a statement that was issued to WrestleZone, I believe, late on Thursday night. Quote, "The health and safety of our fans and performers and employees are our top priority. We are monitoring the situation closely with our partners and government officials in Tampa Bay." Now, it develops more because we learned Wednesday night going into Thursday that Mayor Jane Castor of Tampa Bay was going to meet with local officials about this to discuss major events. So a lot of people thought that would implicate some changes to WWE. Mayor Jane Castor, speaking with the local Fox affiliate on the issue, said that we don't have to take any immediate action for events weeks down the road. All right, so it's a couple weeks away. We're going to put this in the back burner. Adding to that, Hillsborough County, their county commissioner, Les Miller, he did have a meeting on this. This was available in Pro Wrestling Sheet Report on this. This is, I believe I was on cable access, public access. You can actually see the meeting. When he was asked about it, he says, "I'm hoping that Vince McMahon, WrestleMania, and WWE make the call themselves. A week from now, if they've not done so, we're still in the situation we're in. We'll probably have to pull the plug on that." So that is where we stand currently with WrestleMania. We'll learn more about its fate and where it could end up in the next week or so. That is what we know right now. Obviously, for the most up-to-date information, we will have it for you at WrestleZone.com. I want to remind you, we have a landing page right there on the front page that'll tell you all the different events that have been canceled, altered, or postponed, and how they've been canceled, altered, or postponed all across the wrestling world, well beyond WWE, including all of the independent wrestling events, which have been hit the hardest by this. Now, some wrestling events are actually still going on. Most notably, the upcoming AAW card in my neck of the woods in Chicago. It's going to go down. A show called Epic from AAW. This is a well-known wrestling promotion, well-regarded, and they've had many, many big names wrestle there. Tyler Black became Seth Rollins, the most notable name there, and they have a lot of talent that has come from Impact Wrestling as well. So they're going to hold an event coming up here, I believe, not this weekend, but the weekend, the 22nd. This will be at the Logan Square Auditorium. They're limiting the event to 250 people, and they will be washing down the venue. So they've been specific about how they're going to do this. We also know of another Chicago wrestling independent organization, Freelance Wrestling, which is going to stream events with no fans in an event called In Our Warehouse, which will benefit the wrestling performers. So a lot of wrestling performers who are independent, who need those bookings, and the crew not having those shows, they start to worry about, what's going to happen. I mean, months and months of shows have been canceled in the wake of this COVID-19 issue here. So as we develop all that, go to that landing page at WrestleZone.com. It'll tell you everything up to date in one place. Obviously, we'll have individual stories on how it all breaks out piece by piece, but that one page will tell you everything else you need to know. Now, obviously, WWE made changes this week to Friday Night SmackDown. That was held at the WWE Performance Center and aired on Fox with no fans present. It was a very, very unique show. Did you get to see it? It did almost a 2.6 in the overnight ratings. I don't know what its overall ratings are coming into Sunday here, But a very, very fun show with some fun moments on it. We got to see the show end with John Cena and The Fiend squaring off. John Cena lighting up The Fiend in a promo, pretty intense one. They kind of added something to it that there are no fans there, saying that he believes in the future of the WWE, but he doesn't think that's The Fiend, and he doesn't believe in someone getting fifth or sixth chances. I thought that was a pretty burning line. He also says that people that blame him for their failures are lazy. And many people have done it before. It is kind of true. Many people have done it before. I also enjoy Daniel Bryan taking on Cesaro in a match. What a burner we got there. We got a face turn by Drew Gulak. He's in Daniel Bryan's corner. It was pretty neat. There was a lot of fun vibes in the show. I enjoyed Triple H on commentary. I thought he was quite funny. Those are my thoughts on SmackDown. What did you think of SmackDown? In the comments below, let us know what you guys think here if you're watching this video on YouTube or Facebook or enjoying the podcast of this. So you can fire off your tweets to us at WrestleZone.com. It won't be the only show that you see in the Performance Center with no fans. This week's Monday Night Raw was supposed to go down in Ohio. Ohio is believed to be dealing with a very, very serious COVID-19 issue, as is most of the world right now. So obviously the event will be moved to the Performance Center. This will be the Stone Cold Steve Austin 316 day celebration, and it will be with no fans. So another interesting situation. WWE being thrown a curveball, as are a lot of different promotions. They don't want to lose that tag of the longest running episodic TV show, and the show must go on. They have a contract they have to fulfill, and the fans want to watch something. And that was noted in the show a handful of times on SmackDown. I believe it'll likely be noted again on Monday. Now, AEW is also in the fold. They've been affected by this. They've canceled their upcoming March 18th event in Rochester, New York, at the Blue Cross Arena. That will now go down at Daly Place, a part of the Jacksonville Jaguars facility, owned by the Khan family. Tony Khan, the president of AEW, so it's within the family business here. And it's believed they'll tape their next 2 weeks of TV there with no fans in attendance. Now, Jacksonville also having a COVID-19 issue, and the mayor of that city kind of putting a kibosh on a lot of different events here. Let's see what fans are saying here. Ashley Ryson texting in saying, I enjoyed it. Triple H was hilarious on commentary. I liked him as well. I also enjoyed him. He grabbed the cameras. We're down a guy. We got to get someone here on camera. I enjoyed the wrestling during the commercial break. Classic. Yes. There was a clip that leaked out of the women's tag team match, which had the hardest position to be in because they had to be the first match on a show with no fans. That featured Sasha Banks and Bayley taking on Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, that they did not wrestle during the commercial break. And footage of that got out online because a local Fox affiliate was airing it, which was interesting. That they stopped wrestling during the commercial break. Yes. Excuse me. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry about that, Michael Covington. I had the wrong notes here in front of me. You're right. It was supposed to be in Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. I'm doing this solo. Usually I have multiple people with me when I'm doing the show here. So if I got that wrong, I'm sorry. A lot of information here in front of me. AEW doing what they do best, copying. They're not copying. Stop it. Really? Copying, Sean? Everyone's stuck in the same situation. That is petty trolling, basement level trolling. All right, so let me see this here. John Pentograsso, that's a name here. I really feel like Cena is going to put Bray over in the match. It would be crazy for him to come back to this match and totally squash him. Makes no sense. A lot of people have that inclination that John Cena is going to give Bray the business here and give him the torch, the proverbial torch. But, only time will tell. I'll say this. I think we're getting to WrestleMania. Where it's going to be, I don't know. It's worth noting that SmackDown on Friday did not feature any indication of where WrestleMania was or what date it would be held on. Now, that is not a report, but you can just watch the show and see that. You don't have to go digging for that information. That's all available in there. All right, so people texting in here as they come in here. People really enjoying Triple H on commentary. A lot of people thought that was the highlight of the show. And they did make note of it a couple of times here. We're following a situation as it develops at WrestleZone.com. Something we did learn today affecting the independent wrestling world involved Brian Pillman Jr. Brian Pillman is most known. I'll let people know his father, Brian Pillman. He's been active on the wrestling circuit, independents across the world, and active with MLW on their show, MLW Fusion. He was set to perform this afternoon for Mecca Pro Wrestling, Mecca Grand Wrestling. I'm sorry, I have too many notes here in front of me. I've been doing radio right before this. A lot of work today. And he believes he has come down with the flu. Now, he is certain he does not have the coronavirus. His roommates had flu-like symptoms, and out of, obviously caution and worry for those around him, did not want to infect anyone. Obviously, it's worth noting the CDC, the Center for Disease Control here in the United States, addressing people, saying you should practice social distancing. You should be coughing into a tissue and throwing it away. Obviously, wash your hands frequently around the day, and I actually washed down the studio before I actually got here on the mic. Got to be safe and take care of yourself. If you're sick, stay home. All right. And obviously, if you want to go to cdc.gov, that is the source for all that information. I know a lot of people can go online, get a lot of different misinformation, but if you want to protect yourself and those around you, cdc.gov. That is where you get the information. That is the source on how to protect yourself and those around you. There's a lot of wrestling to watch online, a lot of WWE Network. Would you guys want to do a WWE Network watch party with me? Maybe we all decide on one wrestling show to watch later this week. We're all shut inside, right? We're all staying inside. I would like to do that. Hit me up at WrestleZone.com and let me know what party you guys want to watch. Another cool thing we're doing at WrestleZone is our March Mania contest. There's no March Madness basketball tournament this year, but we're doing a tournament of the best wrestling theme songs. And if you follow us on Twitter and Facebook, you can vote on them. A lot of people had a lot of theories about what was the best theme song for Chris Jericho, or what was the best theme song for Hulk Hogan, what was the best theme song used by The Undertaker. Now, that's the first bracket. What happens when you have Chris Jericho's theme song versus Hulk Hogan's theme song? We'll find out. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Engage. Get in the vote. Get in the discussion. Let us know what you think. We're going to try our best to get WrestleZone Daily on air as much as we can. My access to the studios here, a little bit limited with everything going on here. So bear with us. If the audio isn't as great as it normally is, if we're infrequent, keep an eye on our podcast feed. Keep your notifications on our YouTube page and our Facebook, as we can give you all the information you need about the very ever-changing by the hour situation in the world of wrestling. And maybe it's a fun escape for you as well with everything else going on in the real world. Once again, I'm Kevin Kellum for WrestleZone.com, reminding you to please enjoy wrestling.